Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Duels with our, is it Thopter deck? Without further ado though, let's get into the game, shall we? I'll see you there. Alright, we're in. We've got a pretty decent hand actually. We've got 3 lands which might lead into a Thopter Spy Network later down the line, and we can cast absolutely everything in our hand and even get a Fireweaver trigger, so looks good to me. We are on the draw, of course, so we get to see what our opponent's doing first, potentially. Maybe. If he knows that it's his turn. I'm guessing he doesn't. You got this, sir. Ooh, green mana. Okay, fair enough. Potential for a fair bit of artifact and enchantment removal, which is less than ideal, but, you know. What can you do? So next turn we're going to go Aether Chaser, and then, oh, Sylvan Advocate. No. Well, that's annoying. Okay, looks like Aether Chaser's not getting in then. We've got Foundry of the Consoles. I guess we'll Fireweaver then in that case, so that we can actually block the Advocate here. It's actually Simic. Is he a third colour? Can't say I've seen Sylvan Advocate in just this simple Simic deck. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's Bant. Bant what, though? Just mid-range good stuff, I'm guessing. Tireless Tracker. Decent mid-range card. And we get a Thopter Engineer. We have our 4th land as well for the Spy Network, which is going to go quite well with what we have. So, Island into Thopter Engineer. Can't really block the Tireless Tracker too well though, but at least we can get over the top with our Thopter token. Do I even want to? I might want to try and double block, but if he's got a land then we just get blown out, so I might as well just attack for 1, get the damage in. So I reckon he's going to make a land drop to get a clue so he can sack this and give it 3 toughness, which means if we double block we just lose it. Oh, there's the land. Glacial Fortress. Okay. Probably getting in for 3. Yeah. Alright, he's getting in with the Advocate as well. We're going to block here. If he has a pump spell, he has one. We've got another backup Engineer anyway. So that's not too bad for us. So for us, it's going to be Thopter Spy Network into attacking with this Thopter, getting a card draw, and then Thopters every single turn for Fireweaver triggers, which is going to be quite nice. He goes with an Oath of Jace, so draws 3, discards 2, and discards an Oath. Oh, no, he plays an Oath of Nissa, sorry. This is Super Friends then. Selfless Spirit. It might be Super Friends. Alright, we're going to go Foundry of the Consoles into Thopter Spy Network. So we can get in with our Thopter, draw a card. Get the card advantage train going. If he does destroy the Thopter to stop us generating Thopters, then next turn we get to Engineer, create one anyway. And because it'll have haste, then we get to draw a card again. Without any slowdown whatsoever. Plays a land and gets a clue into a Nissa Vital Force. Oh dear. Gonna +1. Yeah, +1. So he's gonna turn a land into a 5/5 and swing with the team. At this stage, I'm not gonna block, I don't think. Later down the line maybe, but right now we'll just block there and take the 5. Should be noted we have to deal damage to players in order to draw that card, so I could split the Thopters so that I can hit Nissa as well. We can also redirect this to Nissa, which wouldn't be too bad, because actually what we can do is P and Kira and deal 2 more damage, take it down to 3, and then swing 3 in at Nissa, 1 at our opponent to draw a card. Should be cool. So if we play the Aether Hub, That is the red mana though, so we are going to lose the energy, although Aether Chaser is going to get us that energy back later. So, P and Kieran. 2 more triggers. I'm going to point them at Nissa, get her off the board. It's one of the upsides of a Fireweaver in this deck. It ain't half bad versus Super Friends. So 3 to kill Nissa, 1 to draw a card. Sweet. If our opponent taps out next turn as well, we can even use Ping Kieran's ability to ping it off, but somehow I doubt he's going to do that. We get another land, which is less than ideal. Okay, there's his land, so he gets another clue. Goes with a Fragmentize. Takes down our Spy Network. Char. And a Selfless Spirit. Sacks a clue to draw a card, gets a counter on the tracker. We're getting pretty close to having to chump block now though, which is not great. Just getting in for 4. We'll take it. Soon we'll have to start chump blocking though, and really considering the situation. Fireweaver. The problem with Fireweaver is we don't have red mana with Aether Hub anymore. So we can't Fireweaver and Engineer in the same turn, or even Aether Chaser. Well, actually, we could Aether Chaser and Fireweaver, but it's just not the same. What do we want to do? Aether Chaser's never getting a hit in. That's the problem. Well, we've got... It's 2 damage each, so we've got 8 damage with our Thopters just on sacks alone. So if I go Foundry of the Consoles... And... Seriously? Tap colourless. Thank you. Red and a colourless. Generate the energy for the Aether Hub. We're not going to be using it to generate a servo anyway. And now we can attack in with our Thopters, sack whichever one he blocks with the Spirit if he decides not to sack it. Or if he decides to sack it, should I say, well, then we'll sack it and deal an extra 2. So, swing in. So we can chump block with the Aether Chaser that way. Game. Hello. Attack with all. Oh, alright, he's timed out apparently. Okay. That would explain a lot. Swing in for 4. If he wants to trade one, then that's fine. He chooses not to. Okay. An interesting choice. We'll go Thopter Engineer. Generate another Thopter, another point of damage for the Fireweaver, and a chump blocker for the Selfless Spirit in the air. So we don't know if he's running any pump. I'm going to guess he's not, but if he is, then we'll be glad to have a blocker. And it's also preventing 2 damage here. So the Aether Chase is just going to chump the Tireless Tracker at this rate. Stop 5 damage coming through. Thopter for the Selfless Spirit if that chooses to come in. Sylvan Advocate again. It's another 4/5 Vigilance. Sure. Wouldn't mind another cheap Thopter generator. That'd be nice. Cheap meaning that I could get a Fireweaver down first. So we can do that little bit of extra damage. And he is going to swing in. Okay. Well, we're going to block there. He's tapped out, so we're actually just taking 4 here, which is fine. There's no tricks about it. Another land. So if I played the Fireweaver, played a land, we'd have 4 mana, so we couldn't sack a Foundry for the double trigger. We could Fireweaver and sack one of the Thopters, though. So we'd be swinging in for 4, 5, 6 this turn if he blocks and we sack. Which I don't necessarily hate. I think maybe we hold back on the Foundry so we can sack them in response to his attacks. Deal 2 damage with the Fireweaver. See what he chooses to do then. If we go for these Thopter hits. So I'm happy to trade a Thopter for a Selfless Spirit. Because we can't sack the Thopter in response and do the Foundry of the Consoles. Yeah. It's going to take all but 1 of our mana in order to sack this. 3, 6. We actually can take him to 2. Just on the P and Kieran here. Johnny. Exile target creature, gain life equal to its power. Oh, he might force our hand here. Let's hope he goes for the reveal, because he's tapped out and can't do anything with the cards that he gets. Yep, sweet. So, what does he get to do, sorry? He gets to take non-land permanents, all of them. Oops. Which is none of them. Awesome. So he whiffs on that one. Right, so we just have to not die, pretty much. And we're good to go. Sacks a clue, takes it up to a 7/6. Taps him out, so there's nothing coming at us that we can't anticipate. None of our blockers are going to be artifacts either, so I'm going to sack the Foundry in response to his attack. Because I can't be using P and Kieran to do much, really. Alright, so we sack the Foundry. Get 2 Thopters, deals 2 damage to him. Pew. And kapow. Alright, and block to not die. There's 1, 2, 3. Might as well sack there as well. Yeah, we got perfect information and we know we've got him dead on board in this current state, so might as well block. And that's a land, but we don't need it. Let's just go 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Exaxes. And that's going to be game. Alright, I'll see you in the next game, guys. Okay, we're in, and we're on the play, which makes these Aether Chasers quite cool, and the Aether Swooper also not so bad. And if we get all of those servos down without a problem, we can actually go for the Thopterist pretty much on time. So yeah, I like this hand quite a fair bit. I'm going to go with the Evolving Wilds and crack it immediately for a blue. And pass the turn. See what our opponent's up to. I'm going to assume they're playing Magic. Yes, they are. Ozov Magic, by the looks of it. Oh, yeah. Well, Mountain into Aether Chaser. Next turn, probably Fireweaver, so that we can get a trigger off of the servo that the Aether Chaser hopefully will be able to make. Otherwise, it's up to the Aether Swooper to do the job for us. Are you any more colours than just black and white, sir / madam? Yes, 4 colours. Okay. Interesting. Might be seeing a fatal push here, perhaps, but I think it's still worth trying to get in there for a little bit of value. Let's have a gander, shall we? Can we get that servo? Well, we got the trigger. Pay the 2 energy. Yes, alright. No fatal pushes, or at the very least he doesn't care about the creatures that we've put down enough to fatal push them. Which ain't bad. And an Aether Hub. So we're at 4 kind of mana with the Maverick Thopters, so we just need one more servo or another land, and we can play him. Goes with a Nissa Vastwood Seer, so this is Super Friends, I'm guessing. Seems fairly likely. Alright, well there's another land. So we can play the Maverick Thopterist for 2 triggers on the Fireweaver. Taps down our servo, but that's not a problem. We don't have the energy for the Aether Chaser to get another servo in though, so that's one of the reasons I'm thinking maybe not so much going for the Thopterist right now. It's a shame we don't have an extra mana, because we could have engineered and then they would have had haste on that turn. That could be something we do anyway. Thopter Engineer to give them all haste, and then next turn the Maverick Thopterist creates 2 Thopters that are going to have haste coming out, which is pretty good. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Still get our trigger just the same as we normally would. We get to swing over the top as well. So, swing, swing, swing. He can block the Fireweaver if he wants. If he wants to take the risk of us not having a pump spell, which we don't. Yeah, you might as well. Stops him blocking this if he wants to do it, and I want extra damage. Down to 13. Alright. See what it can do with 4 mana. Board wipe doesn't really hurt us. Tireless Tracker. Okay. Yeah, board wipe we're kind of set up to just rebuild immediately anyway, so that's one good thing out of it. It goes with an Evolving Wild, so that does get him a clue, and he can sack it to grab another clue. Sure. Long way off of flipping Nissa. But when he does, that advantage though. Red mana as well. Yeah, if this is not Super Friends, I don't know what it is. Okay. We get a land. So we can indeed Thopterist here. We can save 1 mana as well by tapping down the servo we're not going to be attacking in with, but is there much point to that? I don't know. I'm kind of tempted to Aether Chaser just to get the energy so that this Aether Chaser can attack in, because right now is the only time that this Aether Chaser is ever going to get another hit in. Saying that, I don't really need him to generate me a servo either. So I think Maverick Thopterist. There's no reason to cut an extra mana off of the improvise there, really. We could have tapped the servo and the Thopter token, but I'd rather get him with the servo, to be honest. There's 2 damage from the Fireweaver. And swing in there, there, and oops, and there. And the rest can't get in without losing things. So yeah, nice bit of damage. 5 coming in, 3 next turn. Which ain't too bad. 3 coming in next turn, barring him attacking it with his creatures and allowing us to get in. There's a Heart of Kieran though. That's actually quite the problem. And then an Oath of Gideon to create 2 core soldiers. Alright, now we've got an annoying issue. Metallic Rebuke, eh? So, what we can do is we can still keep pinging him with a Fireweaver if we throw the Aether Chaser and stuff like that into a Suicide Bomb kind of stuff. Because it's literally going to get chumped into the Heart of Kieran. But it's going to generate as a servo, which is going to deal 1 damage and take him down to 5, 4, and 3. And then we can also hold up Metallic Rebuke for that entire time. What we could even do is just push through extra damage by throwing our Thopters into the Heart of Kieran as well. And also the Aether Chaser can still attack in with absolutely no issues, really. So yeah, I'm up for that. Generate the energy so the Aether Chaser can generate a servo. Metallic Rebuke, we're going to be paying 2 for by the looks of it. Actually, no, we'll have this servo token from it as well. So servo, servo, and a land, which means we can actually play the Aether Chaser if we want to. And tap it properly, thank you. Yeah, so attacking with the Thopters and the Aether Chaser. She'll generate a servo, dealing 1 damage to him, down to 5. Heart of Kieran's going to block probably this guy here. So he takes 3 down to 2. And then all we have to do then is essentially just attack in with all of our creatures and we should win. He's going to go for the Thopter and chump block with a Core Soldier. Okay. So he takes 2 down to 3. Okay. I think a Whirler Rogue just wins it for us here, doesn't it? We have Metallic Rebuke as well to counter the next thing they casts, potentially anyway. Yeah, you're not having that. Badoosh. Goodbye. I think that means we win. Yep. Continue playing. Can't afford to pay for the Metallic Rebuke, so Sorin goes to the yard. AI takes over and attempts to kill itself. That's fine. We'll take you 4. And we just swing in with everything. We'll generate a servo, which will deal 1 damage. Ooh, reverse engineer. Not bad, not bad. We'll swing in though. Attack. And pay the 2 energy. It's 1 trigger from the Fireweaver. We just need to get 2 damage through. And we win. So he only has 2 blockers. GG. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. So if you did enjoy the content, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe for some more Magic Duels in the future. Be sure to leave any suggestions that you might have to improve the deck as well, because next episode we're going to be doing a quick little change, so I'll implement a few of your suggestions. If they end up working out, I'll be doing a lot of testing after this anyway, so that I can improve the deck myself. And be sure to hit the little bell icon as well, right next to the subscription button, to be notified when I release new videos. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.